Hi guys, I'm Juan here, Up the Sun, where I bring you lifestyle and fandom realness. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Before we get started, please go ahead and hit that like button and really just help out with that vicious algorithm. And subscribe if you haven't already, it's free. Y'all, I have been missing you so much. So the last face-to-face video was me doing my birthday haul. And for all intents and purposes, I was supposed to be taking a break through the end of August, but the world is continuously moving at a rapid rate towards something that is unfortunately all too familiar. Not to say that there weren't atrocities occurring world over prior to this moment, but we are still being fed the same neocon lies essentially about why we have to go and unalive people. So who knows how that's going to turn out? And I say that facetiously because obviously we do know how that's going to turn out. And all I can encourage is that we continue to put the pressure on Congress and finally act during this very difficult time. So because of all that, I decided to treat myself to coming back to my happy place, which is here with all of you, and to play a little catch up of what's been going on with me since my break. And if you've been following me over on Instagram, a lot of you know how I've been coping. Y'all excuse my hair and just the level of shininess. It is so freaking hot here in New York City. A report came out all the way back in 2020, by the way, that New York is officially a subtropical climate, and for the heavier set people, it's a little uncomfortable. I hope you are dealing with better weather out where you are. As you can see, I have my background all the way set up to celebrate Pride. I have, of course, Cheer Bear with the rainbow. I have accented here Heartstopper. I have my Keith Haring. I have my manga there of Junjo Romantica. We got the pin board of my LGBT themed pins, and of course more Heartstopper. Then we have this wonderful Pride bag that you can get on fun.com. And then of course the gay fish have to be included. I have here my Luca Funko Pops and the beautiful Luca bag from Daniel Nicole. Loungefly, get on a Luca bag. We desperately need it. So 2 months and some change have passed since I last officially had a face-to-face interaction with y'all. And I wanted to go ahead and take a trip down memory lane through some merchandise I was able to pick up along the way. So we're gonna go in chronological order. So let's go ahead and start with April. Now, April was a wonderful month because I had known that several things were going on. I had to get out of town, so I did have a trip planned for Atlantic City. I had my friends visiting New York for the Stranger Things, The First Shadow play on Broadway. So let's start there. So my friend Megan, who is the co-host along with Stacy over for the Skull Rock broadcast, which is a Stranger Things podcast, which they are hosting a giveaway right now. So I'll go ahead and link that information down below in the description box so you can go ahead and see how you can enter that giveaway. Hashtag not sponsored. I just really love these girls and the content that they're bringing. So I had known that they were coming to town. Megan and Stacy and a bunch of other friends, a lot of other Stranger Things content creators as well. So initially I had just met them to go to dinner, and it was a restaurant close by the theater, which is the Marquee Theater, which is located in a Marriott in Times Square. But unfortunately, Stacy had become sick, the other half of Skull Rock Broadcast, an amazing human being. And Megan just straight up at dinner said, hey, I have these extra tickets. You know, if you're interested, are you free? And I automatically was like, yes. There's no way I'm going to say no to that. So I ended up going, and what ended up happening was when we went in, Megan had this kind of reaction. I thought she had tripped or fallen or something had happened, but she was reacting to seeing the Duffer Brothers themselves just a few feet ahead of us entering the theater at the same time we were. So when you go in, obviously there's a lobby, but they have a section where it kind of like filters you up to the theater. So there's these two escalators. So what ended up happening is that the Duffer Brothers and their company went on this escalator, and then we went on this escalator like right next to them. So there's like two escalators going up right next to each other. And of course, when you see someone that you really admire and you just can't believe that they're there, you know, you have a certain reaction. I, being a fortunate late bloomer to Stranger Things, didn't have much of a reaction. So they were obviously making some commotion that the Duffer Brothers did notice. They were looking down at us because we were kind of debating, are we going to say hi to them or no? And I said, you know what? Hi, guys. I definitely caught their attention and just thanked them for bringing us the amazing world of Stranger Things. And my other friends got a chance to, you know, greet and everything as well. So that was really cool just to see that right off the bat, that we have the creators of Stranger Things for the first show, for the previews. And why would they not be, to be honest? The show originally debuted over in the West End in London, and now we never thought, or me again, jumping on the bandwagon, never thought that that show was actually going to come to the States. But now season 5 is going full force. Of course, they want to get as much exposure as possible. And what better way for that than bring an iconic Broadway show? And for it being the first night, that the first full run through in front of an audience of this magnitude, in front of the creators, these actors and these artists did an amazing job. And you just felt that when you go to this show, you totally feel that you have just been sucked into this story of Stranger Things with the music, oh my gosh, and just the beautiful special effects and everything that goes into the show. And rightfully so, they did win a bunch of Tonys, as they should. So that was just phenomenal. But being that I wasn't planning on actually going, I didn't have anything budgeted to get anything at the time, so I said, okay, I'm gonna wait. Plus, I actually had planned to see this show for a while. I had gotten tickets back in January, premium tickets to go ahead and see this show. So I had no qualms of not getting anything at that time. I said, I'm just gonna get it next time. But what ended up happening the next day, Saturday, an extra ticket for the show, John Proctor is the villain. And John Proctor's the villain is based on this group of high school students during the Me Too movement back in 2018. They're reading The Crucible and they're debating the merits of John Proctor. And the girls really want to start this feminist club, and then things get crazy, and this play was just such a revelation. And I literally was shaking and crying at the very end of it because I was just so overwhelmed. First, you're overwhelmed if you have any ounce of empathy of what's going on for someone who's been SA'd. So post that show, then I definitely wanted to go ahead and pick up a pin. So this is a little soft enamel pin of John Proctor as the villain. So it's just the title, nothing too fancy. This is what the back looks like, just super teeny tiny. Also, what ended up happening is that we went to the stage door to go ahead and see if any of the actors are going to come out to do signing. And I'll be honest, I don't do stage doors. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and try to fight a gaggle of people for a celebrity sighting or to get something signed. You know, that's what the internet's for. But I do understand that there is so much joy to see one of your faves in person. But I should mention that Sadie Sink does star in this show, and that's why they went in the first place. Sadie Sink plays Max in Stranger Things, and this was her return to Broadway, and it was so worth it to see her. And she did such a good job, like, with the group of people. She gave everyone so much attention, and she did as much best as she could. And she came around to the side where I was at, and I was not thinking she was going to go over there. I think she was going to stay in one section, but she moved, and that was when I was like, oh my gosh, let me go in and try to get an autograph. And I definitely succeeded. So here's the playbill. There's Sadie Sink right there. Oh, she's so amazing. And then here is her autograph right there. I need to be careful with this because it's already scratched right there. But she signed it. She was really sweet about it. Really quick interaction. Obviously, I was not trying to take her time. You know, a lot of people wanted her attention, and I am light years older than her, so I don't need to be taking much more of her time. But this was a wonderful thing to take, this little momentum here with an autograph. This is only the second Stranger Things actor's autograph that I own, so super happy with this. Now fast forward to my second viewing of Stranger Things: The First Shadow. This time for sure I was going to get some merchandise, and I ended up getting this amazing pin set. And if you can see here, this does say Stranger Things: The First Shadow, and it says New York, which I love. And then we have a jar of spiders, because even in season 4, you do see Henry Creel keep spiders for pets. And then here's a cat that in the play, Megan had said that she had wished that she had gotten like a trigger warning, because yeah, we know what happens to pets when they're around psychopaths. So yeah, this cat did not meet its end well. But so this is part of the show. And they just had this 3-for-1 type business going on, and I just absolutely love them. So you can see here the spiders here are outlined, and they have a nice silverback finish here. And it's very simple, but you know exactly what's going on here. And here's the back of the pin. Here's the other pin that says Stranger Things, the first shadow, New York. It's going to look amazing on my Stranger Things pin board. Here's the back. The only thing they have stamped on here is like trademark for Netflix. And then we have this severed kitty. Oh my gosh. This is so intense, even for a pin. Indicative of what's going on here. And this also has 2 pin posts. I haven't been to many Broadway shows. I've seen Moulin Rouge twice, Sweeney Todd, Phantom of the Opera twice, and then John Proctor is the villain. Now Stranger Things, the first shadow. So I'm slowly but surely getting there. Oh, and the off-Broadway hit Drag the Musical. Definitely would love to see it for a 3rd time around. It's just so good, and there's so many new things you can pick out, and you're just like, how are they doing this? Then I got this pin from the American Museum of Natural History, and we just went on a whim because they had a new exhibit. Me and Bay. And every time I go to a museum here, I like to pick up a pin just to commemorate my time there. I don't go to the museums too often, but you can see here this little domed like resin pin here of the front of the museum with a nice little ray of sunshine behind it, which really obviously is on brand for me. And this is what the back looks like. Nothing, it's pretty basic. I love the New York museums. I think this is what makes New York so culturally rich. Fast forward to mid-April, and I ended up going to Atlantic City for a weekend getaway. And it was just to relax and to just enjoy the resort amenities. I don't get into the ocean. I'm just not a fan of the murky water of the East Coast. I'm from Southern California. I'm from San Diego. We have over 70 miles of beautiful beaches in cold Pacific water. But even then, I'm still hesitant to get into the water, and it just kind of feels a little unsanitary to me, for me. But anyway, we ended up enjoying the Hard Rock Hotel, which has quite the sordid past, of course. I love staying at the Hard Rock though, and it was Easter weekend, so I would think things would have been more poppin', but it really wasn't. But that was still nice too, because I don't like crowds. And I may or may not have lost $600 at the slot machines. But that's why you go. You don't go to expect to win big. You just go to have fun. So yes, I did gamble with $600 that may or may not have survived. Very fun for what it was worth. Food, drinks, gambling, the beautiful view from our hotel room. It was just you can see right onto the water. So of course I had to go check the shops to see if I could take anything home with me. And I found this amazing Hard Rock pin, specifically with this wonderful scene of the boardwalk in Atlantic City. We have the steel pier here being represented with that Ferris wheel, which is amazing. And then, which I was really close by. I think the hotel is actually right here. The Hard Rock is right here, very close. Then we have all the other slew of casinos and hotels on the boardwalk. And it was just a fun momentum piece to pick up. You can see here on the card, it is a limited edition card. And of course it's exclusive to the resort. So I had to pick it up. And they had this little blurb here saying that this is a handmade limited edition item specifically to this resort, so you can't get it anywhere else. Which, that's crazy, because then now it's well, I gotta go to the other ones to get the other ones. That's how it starts. And here it is off the back of card. It is a silhouette of the guitar and the skyline of the boardwalk. Super cool. Back is very impressive. Look at this waffling. And then it has a signature guitar pick, which is I don't know how to describe that, but it's super cool. And then they have a music note here on the stand. And I can't for the life of me figure out what the LE number is on this. That print is super tiny. I'm gonna need a magnifying glass. That's where I'm at now in my age. Oh my gosh, the pin backs are even shaped as guitar picks. Super cute. Then sometime after, I ended up getting some magic mail from Elijah Darling over at Yours Truly Darling. And they sent a wonderful item over with some snacks, and it was really much appreciated. Again, Elijah, thank you so much. Included in that, if you didn't see it, because I posted it on my Instagram, which is why another reason why you should follow me on Instagram to get access to things that you won't see here. But they know me so well because they picked up this beautiful Pocahontas Earth Day 2025 pin, and I am so obsessed. There she goes. Very nice, beautiful pin. It's pin on pin, and you have the leaves there, the colors of the wind, and she just looks gorgeous. Oh my gosh, favorite Disney princess. So again, Elijah darling, thank you so much. I will treasure this, and I can't wait to add this to my Pocahontas pin board. This is what the back looks like, and then you do see the Mickey CZ here, so you know it's authentic, even though again these are being forged. Man, these scammers, they want everything. So April bled into May, and my friend Megan had come up to visit me because we were going to see Joe Keery at 2 of his shows out of the 3 that he had held here in Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Steel. And bless Megan's heart, because you know she was on a mission. She had her own thing going on for her VIP. You know, I didn't have VIP for any of it, so I sent her on mission. Because I love Joe Keery as an actor, and I do love his music, but I'm not a person that like really listens to a lot of new music. Again, like, it's not that I don't care or whatever, but it's just that it takes me a while to warm up to things. So did I have to listen the night before to the record to have any idea what he's going to be playing that day? Yes, I did. So there definitely were songs that I was like, what is this? You never heard before. And then of course he played his signature End of Beginning, which actually catapulted this whole thing because it just made him go viral and had wonderful wave of success to ride into an amazing tour. And believe me, I know it sounds excessive to go to 2 shows, but you know, I'm not a person that goes to a lot of musicals, anything. Like, I don't do festivals. I don't like being outside. Don't like being on my feet standing there. I don't like crowds pushing up against me. So it's just not something that I am like fond of, or I like to spend my extra time. But it was an amazing experience. I had a great view of him the first night, as you saw in my shorts. It really was a full circle moment for me, because you know, I'm like, this is the guy. I have his autographs. I have a personalized autograph from him, and you know, like, so you have this connection. Just wonderful to kind of relish in that and see like pure talent like do their thing. Also, Post Animal, the opening act was amazing, and I hope to go to their November show here in New York City. I actually got to meet one of the bandmates, because the second night I was not about being in that pit with people. I was like, let me go upstairs. I'm old, I need to support my back. There's railing up there. And as soon as I got in, I like rushed up the stairs, and you know, obviously it's empty. Nobody's really there except for the security guards and you know, the bartender and stuff. And as I got my drink, I got my position, and I'm here. And that's how I was able to take that wonderful video of the Joe concert for the second night. I am so grateful to everyone who's actually enjoyed that video, reliving those memories. And I just love that I have it there for posterity to go back to and just relive those wonderful moments. So VIP came with like a VIP package. So they ended up giving everyone who got VIP this Crux tote, and it's the Crux Hotel. It's a whole thing, you know, like how artists have like theme stuff going on with their albums to tell a story or whatnot. So this was the theme here. Actually, I would not have gotten this if Megan hadn't gone to so many shows. She already has a couple of these, so I was fortunate enough to be gifted this. So again, thank you so much, Megan. You are a real one. You were so sweet the whole time. Thank you for putting up with me. So included in the tote bag, they came with these hotel slippers that says the Crux Hotel, and it's beautiful mint, which is unexpected, and I love it. It's gorgeous. I really don't know if these will fit me, but I have them. Just because, like, hello, this is amazing. Also, it came a box of these honey lemon mints. This is a brand that Joe Keery really likes, and these are pretty strong. I like them, and these will last for a while. Yeah, the expiration date is, you know, up till 2027. So the people who are really obsessed can go ahead and hold on to this for as long as they can. Has a little memento on their shelves. And as you can see, I have not gotten into these either. So I'm going to hold on to it for a little while longer before I actually open this up. And then lastly is the Crux Hotel patch. I'm not a person that really picks up patches or anything, but what I like about this is that you can be cool and put it on this other side, because this other side of the tote is just solid black. There's nothing going on in it. So you can accent it with this patch. And then on the other half, have this, so you can have something double-sided. And I do love the size of this tote. So now I can finally use it. I've been waiting to make this video and like just putting this off. But yeah, I definitely thank you again so much, Megan, for the free swag. This is amazing. But aside from the free swag, I definitely was obsessed with what I just experienced. So I had to get some merchandise at the merch booth, and I ended up getting this beautiful Navy Joe Tour t-shirt. And you can see it says Joe there, and it has the Back on You World Tour 2025, which is amazing, with Post Animal. Shout out to Post Animal. And then on the back we have the same, and then of course the Joe Kiri at getting knocked into outside of a subway station, and of course the tour dates. So good. And now I can finally wear the shirt because I've been waiting for this video. There are so many other options, of course, for shirts, but you know, I like this one. It's nice and dark, it's more versatile, and part of me actually doesn't want to wear it and just kind of like frame it. And just recently I ended up going to the Brooklyn Comic Con. I didn't think I was going to be able to go to New York Comic Con because my boss had said, hey, you know, this year, I don't know if we can make it happen. And I only say that because last year my boss did comp my New York Comic Con tickets. I thought that was super generous. It has nothing to do with like the perks of working at this law firm. Just, I don't know, just something like I figured that he was going to give away some discounted tickets to one employee, and then he felt like it wasn't fair just to give them a freebie and extend it to the rest of us who had requested tickets for like the Friday and the Saturday, which are like the most sought after tickets if you're not doing the VIP 4-day. And that's how I end up getting the tickets for early access anyways, because my boss does end up getting the VIP tickets, which gives him early access to purchase all the other type of tickets out there. And granted, I did pay for my tickets the first year I went, and then last year being the second time around, compensated. This third year time around, I got a message and he said, hey, he's actually ended up gonna get the tickets. And I was like, of course. Of course I will take tickets. So I actually opted for a Friday. I don't think I really need to go for 2 days. I did obviously said if no one else is gonna take the extra Saturday ticket, that I'm totally down to take those tickets. But Friday I think would just be enough, because to be honest, the cons don't really change in their format. You know, we have the artist alleys, we have the celebrities out there doing their whole autographs, we have some of the same booths, whether it be Funko, Mondo, Tokidoki, and then whatever video game that they're trying to make happen. Like, you know, I've been so many times now that I already, like, nothing has really solely changed. It's nice to see, like, to see where the celebrities are, to like see who's giving out autographs, but nothing's really stuck out to me. Obviously you guys know that I've gotten autographs from the likes of Jim Cumming and some of the Power Rangers out there from my childhood. So I decided this year that I really won't have to go for the gold, that just one day will be enough. I'll just end up going early, because outside of any exclusives, we'll see what drops. When I went to Brooklyn Con, it's a much smaller con, so it wasn't really like anything I really needed, like that jumped out to me like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. You know, I'm really particular, especially when there's like artists doing renditions of IP that I really enjoy. So post that, because there was time in the day, I wanted to go to the Disney store in Times Square. And because I've been seeing things online dropping at the Disney store, and I was like, I would love to get that, but you know, not many people have Disney stores anymore in the country. I think they're all virtually shut down, essentially. But of course, the one in Times Square is going strong, and I decided to splurge there. I do have a Disney Visa debit card, so it does give you 10% off your purchase. So of course, I had to pick up some pins, and y'all know this was happening, right? This was a given. They are doing a new line of these open edition villains pins. It's my boy, the Headless Hessian, the Headless Horseman. And I love it. I love that he is being included these days, and he's getting some love. So of course I had to pick him up. This is what it looks like off the backer card. Very nice. Loving the detail of that border there. So cool. Love this. And this is what the back looks like with the Mickey waffling. And then you can go ahead and see the CZ right there. Next, I ended up getting this 2-pin set here of the Pride pins that they came out with. Aside from sharing that Joe concert, what ended up bringing me out of my break was the Disney Pride collection that was dropped. And my God, how sad. There is nothing compared to the plethora of pins that they gave us in previous years, and it was just really disheartening to see overall. It was not great outside of the Spirit jersey and this pin set and maybe the ears. Not a huge fan of what was going on. It feels almost disrespectful. That's kind of like they tried and they're like, we're just 50-50 about how we're going to represent Pride and show our support this year. But again, they popped off with this. I don't think that this is unique. They've done things like this in the past, but I do love the glitter shimmer here and the white, and of course the castle shape there with the correct amount of colors there. Sometimes I'll add an extra stripe of color that doesn't exist. And then here we have the Mickey ears, and of course each ear is glittery too, which I'm obsessed with. So again, like I said in my last video, going over this line, you can always win me over with some glitter. But another thing too is that they changed the price point on this. It's $10 less than what they had originally put out. And I literally, you can like go back to that video where I do the screenshot of the pin originally, and it was much higher, like 30 something. This is what the Mickey ears look like off the backer card. Very cute. It's a nice size pin. And this is what the back looks like. It does have the CZ right there. Really nice. Here's the other pin off the backer card. Very nice size. I would say it's gorgeous. I absolutely love this. The twinkling stars, accented by the glitter. This is beautiful. And this is what the back looks like. There is the CZ right there. The metal is a lot darker, which is pretty cool. But there is the waffling, and then you can see the little cutout of the arch there of the castle. These are so cute. I cannot wait to add them to the Pride board. Okay, I have 2 final items to share with you. Again, they are from the Disney store. Thank you so much if you lasted this long. And they are New York City themed pins. So here's this one that says NYC. This is pin on pin. We have a water tower with a Mickey head. We have, I believe, Mickey, not Minnie, dressed up as a Statue of Liberty. Then we have the little big apple right there. And then we have a skyline and a sun, which is really cool. Very unique. And I want to say it's exclusive to this Disney store, but you probably could pick this up at Epcot. I don't know. I'm not sure. Comment down below if you do know that, if you've seen this pin out in the parks. But I thought it was just exclusively to the shop. But, you know, if not, I hope anyone who'd like this can get one. You can see that pin on pin detail here. And this is what the back looks like. It does have a Mickey CZ here. Really cute. It is double pin posts. That's great as well. Really cute. Love this. I've been here like almost 5 years and I still haven't gone to the Statue of Liberty. But I see that girl all the time though. Finally, we have this New York pin of Mickey as a little tourist exploring NYC. You can see there's a little taxi cab here, and then we have the crosswalk, and then the crosswalk, it has like a little Mickey silhouette there, the head and his body. And then we have some bridges behind him, pretzel, Statue of Liberty, there's that apple again, and the New York skyline. Of course, nothing's to scale. And it says New York. It's super cute. And this is what the back looks like. Again, the CZ is here. Very nice. So really happy I was able to get that discount of 10% off. So that was it. Thank you so much for being here. A couple of things that also happened is that I recently was on a podcast with the wonderful Megan at the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where she spreads positivity. So that was so much fun. It's not here on my main channel, but I will link down below the link to go ahead and to see that video, because it is on YouTube. And I just had such a great time. So again, other Megan, thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. So if you have had a chance to see that, please go ahead and look at that and comment and like on that video, and go ahead and subscribe to her channel and follow her on Instagram or wherever you listen to podcasts. So that information will be down below. Also comment down below which item is your favorite. Are we twinning on any of these items? Let me know. A huge thank you to all my subscribers. Your support means the world to me. We are on the road to 1,500 subscribers, so please go ahead and continue to like, comment, and share this video with somebody you think that might like it. Also, be sure to ring that notification bell for future videos like this one. So with that, be safe, tell somebody that you love them because tomorrow's never promised, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!